Cool. All right, well, we're going to jump in. Then I'm going to get back to noodling with my guitar. Today we're here to talk about autumn challenges. This is a workshop I've wanted to do for a long time. It's something that I think is not spoken about enough, seasonal changes. And each season comes with its own unique set of challenges. My goal here is every season to have a workshop like this one, going over the things I recommend as we transition from one season to the next. So throughout this handout, you're going to hear a lot of simple supplement strategies that tell you to take a product for one bottle at the start of this seasonal shift from summer to autumn. And the idea there is that we're giving our body a boost and we're actually gaining some momentum as we move from one season into the next. Here we go. The change of seasons from summer to autumn brings beautiful colors in the trees and a new set of health challenges, typically not experienced during summer. In this workshop, we will go over simple supplement solutions that help our body stand up to the fall. See what I did there? Stand up to the fall. Thanks. I'll be here all week. As always, ask questions as they come up. This is a discussion, not a lecture. First one I want to go over is allergies. Hey, Vicky, throw your microphone on mute for us. Thank you. It's all good. It's all good. All right, allergies. Each season has its unique plant blooms and air quality issues. In autumn, we see both environmental allergens and an increase in time spent indoors. This unique combination calls for specific supports. There's no other season where we get the same kind of mix of the fall allergens and increased indoor time. Usually in spring and summer, we're outside more often, less time indoors. And then in winter, there's not much stuff blooming, and we spend a lot of time indoors. So they're each unique in their own way. First supplement I'm going to recommend is Allerplex. This is a 5-in-1 supplement that supports airways, adrenals, and liver, all the key players in the allergy handling system in the body. All the time we hear about things like the digestive system and the immune system. I want to bring up another one, the allergy handling system. It is composed of the lungs, the liver, and the adrenal glands inside of our body. What's nice about Allerplex is it has nutrients to support all three of those areas. All three of these areas need to perform optimally if we're going to have our best chance at dealing with allergies. Second supplement to talk about with allergies is called Allergco. This blend of herbs provides the type of boost our allergy handling system needs. Use one bottle at the start of autumn. So this has 60 tablets in it. I suggest 2 or 3 a day. So for a lot of people, it's a month supply. And you take this right around this time of year. We're talking mid-September, early October. You start that up, and it gives you a nice little springboard into dealing with all the fall and autumn type allergies and air quality issues. Before I move on to the next topic, questions coming to mind? No? Okay. Let's talk about body temperature regulation. As the seasons change, so does the viscosity or the thickness of our blood. In warm months, our blood becomes thinner so that it can move to the surface of our skin and the blood vessels that are there more easily. During cold months, the blood thickens to help keep heat away from the surface of the body. This leaves many people with cold hands, cold feet, cold noses. We can help ourselves stay warm with the right circulation support. So what I've drawn here, here's the inside of your body on this side of the line. Here's the outside of your body. And we got all these little blood vessels. They start wider, and then they get narrower and narrower as they get closer and closer to the skin. In the warm weather months, the blood that's moving towards the skin is thinner. It's easier for it to get to that tiniest little bit right up by the skin, and that actually helps us release heat. Heat can come off of the body more easily that way. It's a nice way that we can naturally cool ourselves. In winter, the blood stays thicker and it doesn't travel as close to the skin because it doesn't fit that close. What's nice about that is that keeps the heat inside of the body. That making sense? All right, cool. So what we want to do is support the blood flow up to the skin and support blood flow to the very center of our body, because what that does, the heating effect the center of our body has on our blood, the way it warms up our blood, is a greater effect than if we let the blood go up to the surface of our skin. So as long as we're supporting blood flow to our gut and our skin at the same time, we will have a net gain of heat in our hands, feet, nose, ears. Here's how we do it. First thing we do is called Cataplex E2. This is a whole food source of vitamin E and selenium. Whole food vitamin E is known for its ability to relax blood vessels, and in doing so, supports nutrient delivery in the body and reduces effort by the heart. This is one of my favorite supplements for people to take when they're just starting a workout program, if they've hit a plateau in a workout program, if they're going to go anywhere that's at higher elevation, because this supports the use of oxygen in the body. It helps deliver more oxygen and helps the efficiency of how that oxygen is used. Pretty incredible thing. What it'll do for us is help open up those blood vessels just a little bit, which makes it easier for the blood to get up towards the surface of the skin and into those extremities, hands, feet, tip of our nose. Second thing I want to do, and this is the magic stuff, ginger, and not ginger candies. I know. I wanted it to be ginger candies also. Taking standardized ginger supports circulation to two areas of the body, the parts farthest from the heart, hands and feet, and the intestines. When optimal circulation to these areas occurs at the same time, the blood becomes warmer, like I mentioned a few minutes ago. Use 1 bottle at the start of autumn. This is a pretty big bottle. We also have little 2-ounce bottles of this. And what I suggest people do is take about a half teaspoon of this once a day. I really like it in coffee. I think it makes coffee taste extra good. A lot of people just like it straight in water. Some people hide it in a smoothie. There's really no wrong way to take it. This is going to help that blood flow to our intestines and through the extremities. And when we combine those two things, our extremities end up being warmer. Questions on body temperature regulation? We'll keep grooving. Mold. Man, could probably do a whole workshop just on mold. Autumn brings a unique environmental condition. The ground covered with leaves, and the leaves act as a moisture retainer for the soil. While the air temperature drops in autumn, the sun still shines brightly on the ground, and it'll heat the earth up to the ideal temperature for mold growth. So leaves plus sun equals mold growth. What mold needs to really thrive is dark, wet, and warm. And we got that combo here. There might be a small amount of mold on the ground. The moisture is retained by the leaves that are laying on top of it. And then the sun shines on those leaves, warms up the earth, and now the mold is happy because it's dark, wet, and warm. So we see mold levels acutely increase once we have ground cover with all those leaves. Here's what we do about it. The first is Zymex. This product supports the intestines by slightly acidifying them. Mold hates acid because acid breaks down mold. When broken down into smaller pieces, mold cannot resist the immune system's efforts to dispose of it. One of the biggest problems with mold is that when we're exposed to it, it's like taking too big of a bite of food, and we just can't break it down the right way. Where Zymex comes in is it helps break it down into smaller pieces, and that is much easier for our immune system to handle. Now that is gentle acidification, and sometimes gentle acidification is not enough. That's when we use CalAmmo. This is Standard Process's strongest acidifier. It is something that is also used to help allergies, urinary tract infections, and indigestion. I get to use this for a lot of things. Wonderful little supplement, also very inexpensive. Clients dealing with allergies, urinary tract infections, whether acute or chronic, and even people dealing with indigestion, especially people who are coming off of something like Tums Rolaids or Pepto-Bismol use on a regular basis, this is a wonderful little thing for them to have in their arsenal. You knew I was going to say this one next. What is it, Lori? Hold on, your mic's off. I talk about it at every workshop. Your mic is Spanish black radish. You got it. There's that mic. Our beloved, always SBR. If you're dealing with mold, then you need a cleanup crew. If you haven't met, allow me to introduce you to Spanish black radish. Liver, intestines, spleen, and joints all need the nutrients found in Spanish black radish to function optimally. This is something that comes up with a lot of my clients that I inherit from other clinics around town. They do a mold protocol with those people, something to help get mold out of their body, and they load them up on these really powerful mold killers. I have no problem with that. Where I take issue is that they don't give enough of what I call drainage, things to clean up after you kill off a bunch of mold. It's one of the areas where Spanish black radish really shines. You can kill off a bunch of mold and get it out of your body, meaning you're going to have less trouble in the future, less symptoms, less likely to have recurrence also, because we really cleaned out the body. Questions on mold? Grooving? Okay. Thanks for the assist there, Two Boots. We're going to talk about mood next. Sunlight-filled hours begin to dwindle. The lush green trees wither. A cold wind lifts fallen leaves, and the world seems gray. Sorry, I got carried away for a second. Woo! Less sunlight means lower mood. That's what I meant to say there. And there are a lot of things that we can do to help. So the days are getting shorter. We got less sunlight, more darkness, and our mood goes from this orange smiley face to this blue frowny face. And there's something that we can do that makes a big difference. The first thing is take a fish oil that is rich in EPA, like this one, Old Prima EPA. This is an omega-3 supplement. Omega-3 from various sources has been proven to reduce neuroinflammation. That means make your whole nervous system less inflamed, including your brain and the mood center in your brain. Inflammation of the brain is known to be an element of mood disorders. There's a really wonderful podcast called Holistic Matters. They've spoken about this a couple of times. It's free. However you listen to podcasts, search Holistic Matters. You'll find it. They have, I think, close to 100 episodes on there now. And there's a nice little search feature. You can search for brain inflammation, neuroinflammation, and it'll take you to studies on mood and brain inflammation. This product is rich in EPA, the type of omega-3 that has a mood brightening effect, unlike other omega-3 supplements that lack EPA. So this one is very unique. The next thing they do is hypothalamus. The hypothalamus gland in our brain is the boss of our mood system. So I mentioned immune system, I mentioned the digestive system, the allergy handling system. Now I'm talking about the mood system. This supplement is like a multivitamin for your hypothalamus, supporting its most basic functions. Used for one bottle at the start of autumn. This bottle has 60 tablets in it, just like the alert code, and we take 2 a day. I recommend it in the morning. I find it is much easier for me to get up and get going in the morning when I'm taking hypothalamus. It does all sorts of things that are really good for your brain. Questions on mood? We're going to keep rolling then. Last but certainly not least is sleep. The clocks fall back every autumn, and some people are not affected while others lose their circadian rhythm. That's your body's internal clock. There are nutrients that can help the body to reestablish that rhythm, get the clock back on time. There's 2 of them, and I'm going to talk about them at the same time because for this particular protocol, we actually need to take these at the very same time, and I'm going to tell you how. Adrenal complex and adrenal desiccated. These supplements support the production and the sensitivity to cortisol, and that's a stress hormone. Before you get worried me talking about production of stress hormone, let me finish. Cortisol production is supposed to take place in large, infrequent bursts, 2 to 4 times a day. And taking these supplements at the same time can actually help the body time those bursts. So a really healthy circadian rhythm has a cortisol burst at 8 a.m., a slightly smaller one at noon, and a much smaller one at 4 p.m. So the idea here is, if we're looking at this like it's on a graph, and our cortisol production is getting measured on the graph from a high level down to a low level, and that's cortisol that we're measuring here. At 8 a.m., the level's up here. At noon, it's down here, and by 4 p.m., it's down there leveling off for the rest of the night. So you have a nice low level, and you can actually get to sleep. You can rest really well. What I see people do constantly is they are trying to do things to make themselves fall asleep. For some people that works. What I'm encouraging here with this combination is, instead of just telling your body what time it's supposed to sleep, tell your body what time it's supposed to be up and at 'em. Because if you do that, the body will say, hey, I've been up and at 'em since 8 a.m. It's been 14 hours. It's time for me to wind all the way down and get ready for sleep. Awesome. People take melatonin, people take extra Mintran or extra Orachex to help them sleep. Sometimes that works. If it doesn't, let's consider this combo. And what we do with these two, you take a half tablet of each one at 8 a.m., a half tablet at noon, and a half tablet at 4 p.m. You just give your body these little signals at those times a day. Hey, this is when you're supposed to have that stress hormone burst. And you can literally train your body into having those bursts at those times, which is really nice because most people are just kind of running on cortisol all the time. There is no singular burst, there is this steady trickle. And the problem with that is, eventually your body becomes less sensitive to it, and then you have to become more stressed to actually have a reaction involving cortisol. It's a real negative feedback kind of cycle you can get into. This is a way that we can jump out of that. Yeah, Lori.
Can you please repeat the name of those 2 supplements?
Sure. It's Adrenal Complex by MediHerb and Adrenal Desiccated by Standard Process.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for asking. Half tablet of each one, 8 a.m., noon, and 4 p.m. Really common question people ask me, Drew, what if I'm dealing with allergies and sleep stuff, or what if I have a mold concern and a mood concern? Cool. Each little section in here is its own thing. There's no real big overlap between different protocols. So it is really commonplace for me to have a client dealing with mold and sleep issues at the same time. And then we do Cal-Ammo and Spanish black radish for the mold, and we do the adrenal combo at 8, noon, and 4 to help with the sleep. Make sure their clock adjusts, their internal clock adjusts. That's what I have prepared for you. What questions do we have coming to mind? You're good? All my online people, if you got questions, feel free to unmute that microphone and ask away. Wonderful. I really appreciate you being here. People online, the butts in the seats, and all the people watching after the fact. This is the first workshop that we're doing since we decided to make all of our workshops public and to give some different perks to our clients. We're going to talk about the perks in the live stream coming up soon, so be sure to check in on us on YouTube Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can hear all about what we're doing for this little customized perk for our client. Otherwise, I want you all to stay well, and we will see you soon.